Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. I am tuning in to you today from Huntington Beach. I'm back, baby. We're back in California for about a week and a half, and I'm excited to be here. Last time I was here, it was a beautiful reflection of how far I had come since moving to Huntington Beach. And being back here continues to be a reflection of how far I've come and what I've stepped into. Hello. And so, yeah, just really excited for my time here. Really excited to have a deeper reflection of what is moving and what's happening in my world right now. And so much is moving, so much is happening, and it's honestly like so exciting and simultaneously a little bit overwhelming at the same time. And it is so aligned. I put up a story the other day that was talking about how I literally feel like the most aligned that I've ever been in my life. And I'm so grateful for that. On the way here, on the airplane, I was reading the last chapter of Pussy. All my ladies out there, highly recommend you read this book. It is life-changing and fantabulous. And I'm reading this chapter on this airplane, and I'm just like sobbing. And I'm sobbing because like reflecting on my life, reflecting on the incredible women in my world. And one of them picked me up from the airport. She's inside over there somewhere. And just so grateful for the humans that are here, the humans that support me, the humans that hold me, and that play a role in the Unshakable foundation that I've created in my life. And if you have not yet seen so I was going to say the end of the month, but the beginning of June, I'm hosting a workshop for all of my ladies out there, all of my sisters who are ready to step into this unshakable life. And so let's talk about what does it mean to live this unshakable life? Well, an unshakable life is, as a woman, right? Being an unshakable woman is having the ability to support yourself, to regulate your nervous system, to understand what it is you need when you need it, right? Have all of these tools at your disposal in your toolbox and be able to discern when is it that you need to use this tool? When is it going to support you? When should you step into supporting yourself, and when can you really lean on others? When is it time to lean on others? And, being unshakable, one of the things that came through for me while I was in Costa Rica is this visualization of being this really, really strong, beautiful tree and having such strong roots in the ground that no matter what, no matter how strong the wind, no matter how heavy the currents, no matter what happens, you know that you've got yourself and that you're going to be okay and that you cannot be destroyed because your roots are planted and rooted so firmly in the ground that you're good, that you've got you. And so I'm excited to bring this workshop to you. This is a free workshop. It's a free masterclass. Workshops and masterclasses, they're the same thing in my world. It's just a matter of what I'm feeling on any day I want to call it. And that's the beautiful thing about doing this work, is that I can do whatever I want and I can call it whatever I want, really. So I am hosting this free masterclass at the very beginning of May. I almost said June, at the very beginning of May. And I'd love for you to join. If you are a woman and you're ready to step into your power, if you're ready to gain clarity on your path, if you're ready to find greater alignment within yourself and within your life, if you're ready to claim your voice, if you're ready to really be able to discern what your yes is, what your no is, communicate your boundaries, this workshop, this masterclass, it's for you. For my ladies who are ready to step into their power, who are ready to become unshakable, who are ready to learn and feel confident supporting themselves and know that no matter what happens, they're going to be more than okay. They're going to thrive because they've got themselves, they've got their community, and they are in alignment with their soul aligned life, is what I've been referring to it as. Because what happens when we're not in alignment is that we end up feeling resistance. And resistance is restriction, it is challenge, it is chaos, it is things that really don't feel good. Maybe avoidance comes up in this restriction, resistance. And it leads us to have a difficult time moving forwards because we're not in alignment. And when you are in alignment, when you know how to support yourself, when you're listening to your inner guidance, right, your intuition, you bring in incredible amounts of magic, incredible amounts of abundance. You take a step back and look at your life and you're like, holy shit, this is my life. This is my world. That is literally wild. And that's what I do every single day, and more and more and more lately, just like in awe of what I've created for myself. And if you're just hopping in here, hello, drop in the chat, tell me where in the world you're tuning in from. This is also a Q&A. Thursdays is free support, free mentoring. So if you have any questions and I can answer anything for you, please drop it in the chat. And I would love to chat about it. And if you would also like to request to be in the live, I'd love to chat with you. Bring your beautiful self on in here and let's co-create some magic together. But, you know, in my work, mostly with women, I do also support men, but mostly women. My work is stepping into guiding women back home to themselves, helping them step into the most powerful version of themselves, the most powerful version of who they get to be, helping them step into their authentic expression. I'm here to support them in finding their voice. I'm here to support them in finding greater alignment in the life that they're living, in the path that they're walking. I think that is Catherine. Hello, Catherine. And Miss Zion's in here too. Hi, baby. And I love being able to support women as they find their aligned path, because as you come more into alignment, listen to your heart, listen to your intuition, as you learn to say no, to set your boundaries, to use your voice, it is the most incredible thing in the world watching women rise in their power. And the thing is, like, we aren't taught how to do this. Like, we come out of the womb like so unaffected, so unaltered, so deconditioned. And then society tells us that we can't do this and we can't be that and we should look like this and we should look like that, and that our bodies aren't beautiful the way that they are, with all the curves and all the hair and all of the blemishes. And like, that is what makes you so uniquely you. That is what makes you so freaking authentic. So authentic. It's what brings your magic out. Is your divine essence. And we go through society, we grow up, and we learn from our families, we learn from the education system, we learn from the medical system, we learn from friends, maybe other women, that like maybe we can't be the way that we want to be because maybe we might not be accepted for it, or maybe it might lead to us being so in our power that people are going to be jealous, or people are going to be insulted by it, or people aren't going to like you, right? There's so many conditioned beliefs and behaviors that we learn over time from family, from friends, from society, from the medical system. There's so many things that we learn that ultimately lead us to hold ourselves back, that lead us to build these walls around ourselves for protection, that prevent us from being who we want to be, who we are meant to be, who our hearts desire to be. And so this is the work that I love to do in the world, is I love to help people reconnect with themselves, to build awareness, to be the observer so that they can start to look at, where are they holding themselves back? Where do they have learned behaviors, learned conditions, learned experiences that are ultimately walls and shields and armor that's preventing them from opening their hearts, from being their authentic selves, from expressing from a place of love and desire. I have a chia seed in my teeth. I can feel it. I just had an acai bowl. right? And so when you can start to take down this armor, when you can start to take down the shields, when you can start to look at the patterns and conditioning, when you start to look at the things that you've learned throughout your life, growing up, we learn from traumatic experiences. We learn to protect ourselves, right? To hide oftentimes, to shield, as to try to prevent ourselves from re-experiencing similar pain. And so when you start to come into connection with all of these ways that you're holding yourselves back, that you're shielding yourself, that you're arming yourself, that you're closing your heart, and you slowly start to bring safety through nervous system regulation and self-care and support, what starts to happen is you start to allow these walls, you start to allow the armor, you start to allow the shields to slowly come on down. And what is behind that armor, what is behind those shields is your divine essence. It is your authentic self. And as you start to bring these shields down and come to love yourself so much in the process, because this is a process of learning to love yourself so deeply, unconditional love for you. And the thing is, you can't be loved by another person the way that you desire to be loved if you're not being that for yourself. It's radiant relationships. Is you teaching the universe how it is that you want to be treated, how it is that you want to be loved, what your worthiness is. Like, you get to be that for you first, and then other people will learn from you. And so this process of taking down your walls and removing your shields and your armor, yes, it does require vulnerability. It can be scary. It can be uncomfortable. And what is behind those small little moments of discomfort is massive expansion. It's like the awe that you get to experience every single day living, because you're like, oh my God, I literally can't believe this is my life. Like I was explaining to you earlier. And, you know, you're probably like, maybe some of you are watching this and you're like, yeah, okay, well, like, she doesn't know me and she doesn't get me and, like, she doesn't know my life. No, I don't. And what I do know is that I've been through a lot of wild experiences in my lifetime. I've experienced divorce, not myself. I've been a part of my parents' divorce. I've experienced trauma. I've experienced sexual assault. I've experienced really, really toxic female friendships. I've been sexually exploited by my peers. I've had a lot of crazy things happen to me in my world. And you're right, nobody is ever going to fully understand the journey that you've been on because they haven't walked a mile in your shoes. However, they've walked a mile in their own shoes. And they may not exactly know what you've been through. They can resonate. Because most of us, when it comes down to the roots, we're all hurt children. We are all wounded children that need love, that need support, that want to be seen, that want to be heard, that want to be supported. This is why inner child work is so huge and so impactful, and it's a huge part of my work with my clients and helping them step into this unshakable spirit, this unshakable woman that they get to be, that they already are, that they just get to remember. And so, no, I may not exactly know what you've been through, and I can hold space for it and I can resonate with it through my own experiences. And that is the beautiful part about relating with other humans. And this is why we can only get so far when it comes to our, that this chapter was talking about, was that the reason why it's so important for you to have your sisters and for men, for you to have your brothers, is because when you go through really, really challenging experiences in life, lean on your sisters, you get to lean on your brothers to hold you and support you and reflect back to you the power and the divine essence and the radiance that is so deeply hidden within you sometimes at those moments where you're like, oh my goodness, the world is dark around me and I'm in the shadows and everything is going wrong. And then somebody actually reminds you of your power, and they remind you of your worth, and they remind you of what you are deserving of. And then you go, oh yeah, I do deserve that. And this is why it's so important to have your sisters, girls. It is so important to have your sisters. And this is why I'm like crying on the airplane on the way here, because I'm like, oh my God, like I have the most incredible sisters in the world. Like, I'm gonna be biased. I am biased. It's my life. And I have the most incredible friends in the world. And I didn't always. Like, guys, if you understood, and I really haven't been sharing a lot of my past lately, a lot of my story, and I do have the intention of doing that more. But like I did not come from this place. I used to hate myself. I used to hate my life. I used to hate my body. I drove myself into exhaustion through bodybuilding to try to fit my body into this picture perfect experience that Instagram and social media told me I should look like to be beautiful and to be loved and to be liked and to be cherished and to be honored. I had really toxic friendships because I was trying to use my friends, I was using my friends to try to fill wounds within myself that I wasn't supporting myself with. I had a very negative mindset, a very fixed mindset. I was seeing the worst in everything. I was seeing the negative in everything. I did not know how to practice gratitude. I was so stuck in this pattern. And I wanted so much more for myself. I wanted to really love my life. And I was just so stuck. I felt like the smallest little thing was going to knock me off the horse and I wasn't going to get back up. And so for me to sit here now and share with you like what my life has become, because I've learned how to love myself, because I've done the inner child work, because I have learned how to regulate my nervous system, because I have become this very unshakable version of myself. And I know that no matter what challenge, no matter what darkness, no matter what comes up in my life, physical pain, mental pain, emotional challenge, that I got myself and I'm going to be good. And I know when to lean on other people for support. And this is what it takes to be an unshakable woman. And this is why I'm here to share all of this with you in my upcoming masterclass, The Unshakable Woman. This is a totally free masterclass. I hope that you can make it. It is going to be a beautiful opportunity for you to reflect on yourself and for you to see some of the areas that you can step into for more expansion. There's so much here already within you to tap into, to harness. And so if you're like, yes, this masterclass is only for women this time around. And if you know women in your life, other ladies that you're like, wow, like, I think that this could be really, really supportive for this woman, because let me tell you right now, every single woman that you know likely desires to feel more confident, more secure within themselves, and likely desires to step into the powerful queen that they are, to be fearless and to walk through life and with this energy of like, I know myself and I fucking love myself and I got this and I am unshakable. And so if you do know a woman that likely wants to feel that way, please send this over to her. I would greatly appreciate that, because I have such massive dreams and visions and goals in this world, sometimes to the point where it literally like, I'm like, what am I, like, how is this going to happen? But I don't focus on the hows. I focus on the feelings, and the feelings are going to bring me to the experience. I want to own a nonprofit. I want to help people that are suffering in this world across the globe that don't have access to resources and that don't have access to the education, the support. I want them to have this support so that they can be self-sufficient and they can be a more empowered self-healer, and they can better support themselves and feel confident and feel fearless and like find the alignment within their own life path. Because they have the tools to regulate the nervous system. They have the tools to heal their trauma. They have the tools to support themselves. And that's what it's about. And our systems do not teach us how to do that. It's why I'm so passionate about this work. And so, yes, by you sharing this with another woman, you are helping me. You're helping my business. You're also helping that other woman. And you're helping these massive goals of mine that I am working towards to help the world. Because I'm very, very, very passionate and very driven to bring my medicine to as many possible people that I can in this world, because I want to change the fucking system. Because it's flawed and it's failing us. We don't have health care, we have sick care. Physically, mentally, and emotionally. Energetically. Yesterday, I had a beautiful connection call yesterday, a discovery call. A woman who reached out to me and expressed desire to receive support because she's really struggling. She's 18 years old, and she reached out to me for personal development work. First of all, what the actual fuck? Like, I am so impressed that this woman had the confidence and the courage to reach out to me at 18 and say, hey, I really could use some support. I'm not doing well, and I really want to learn how I can better support my mental health and my physical health. First of all, like, yes on you, queen. Yes on you. That is what we need. But also, this is a huge magnifying glass that's showing us the problems that exist in our society. The fact that somebody's getting to age 18 and they are so suffering so much mentally, physically, emotionally, and they don't know how to take care of themselves. And then on top of it, the people in their lives are not encouraging them into the support that they actually need. And if anything, they're leading them to feel bad about it, or judge themselves about what they need, or lead them to feel disempowered and actually not lean into the things that they need. That's part of the problem. And that's what the system is doing that we live in. And so this is why it's so important for you to find your power, for you to really be self-sufficient in having the tools to support yourself, to regulate your nervous system, to heal from your trauma. Because if you want to grow and you want to expand and you want to have deeper connections and you want the love of your life, that all starts with you. Like, all of that work starts here within you. And again, the reason why I'm here and the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing in this world and why I am so passionate about bringing this medicine to as many people as possible is because we don't have it. This is not ingrained in our system. Could you imagine if you had all the tools that you needed to support yourself before you actually needed them? What if you learned this going through elementary school, going through middle school, going through high school? And yes, take your history classes, take your biology classes. And what if you had a personal development class? What if you actually had a self-regulation class? What if you had an emotional mastery class that actually gave you the tools and helped support you so that you can better support yourself as you step into the world of adulting? Because, like, shit's gonna hit the fan. That's what life is. Like, humaning is hard. And things are gonna happen. Darkness is going to happen. Death is going to happen. Physical pain is going to happen. Injury is going to happen. Mental health is going to happen. And what if you had the tools to support yourself before you needed them? So that when that does happen, you feel unshakable. You feel like no matter what, you cannot be destroyed. You deserve that. You're worthy of that. And no, it's not always super easy, and it is always worth it. Always worth it. And it took me a long time to get here. I won't lie to you. I'm 30 years old, and it's taken me a long time to get here. And I wouldn't have it any other way. And so I want every single person that I come across in my life, I want them to have this too. And so if you would like to feel that unshakable foundation, come join my masterclass. I would love for you to be there. I'd love to hold you and support you as you learn what it takes to become an unshakable woman. To be so grounded in who you are, in your path, in your alignment, to support you as you step into your power and use your voice and set your boundaries. Say no to the things that are taking your power, but specifically to the things that you're allowing to take your power. right? There's a big shift difference there, big shift mentally in your mindset between that's taking my power and I'm allowing that to take my power. There is radical responsibility in that second one, right? That I am allowing that to take my power. And change cannot happen unless there is radical responsibility. That is what it is. And so if you're ready to take radical responsibility and you're ready to start stepping into your power, start using your voice, if you're ready to really enjoy the life that you're living, step into your authenticity, feel fearless in the pursuit of your dreams and your desires, this workshop, this masterclass, it is for you. So I hope you come join. Sometimes my lives on Thursday are Q&A, and other times it's me just riffing on what's here and what's present and what's alive in me. If you have any questions, there's a couple of you here. If you guys have any questions about like what it takes to become an unshakable woman, if you have any questions about what it takes to step into your confidence, if you have anything that's coming up for you that you would like to know a little bit more about, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. But yeah, I'm really, really excited for this masterclass to help the ladies and to help my sisters step into their power and to help women really learn how to support themselves through the challenges that arise through life. How to overcome imposter syndrome is something that Claire wants to know about. Yeah, well, if you think about it, imposter syndrome beautifully goes into what we're talking about here, because imposter syndrome, actually, I'll ask you, what does imposter syndrome mean to you? What do you experience with imposter syndrome? And I'd love for you to answer that for me before I go deeper into imposter syndrome. But imposter syndrome is really, really common, and many clients and many people that I've worked with over the years experience very similar things when it comes to imposter syndrome. And we're going to wait to see what Claire has to say here. But normally, like with imposter syndrome, there's comparison. Claire says, feeling like I'm not good enough to be a yoga teacher, or like I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Thank you for sharing that, Claire. I really appreciate your reflections, your self-reflections here. And so, yeah, imposter syndrome is oftentimes something that comes up when we start to compare ourselves with someone else. It comes up oftentimes when, Catherine, send me a message and I will send you the link to the masterclass that is happening at the beginning of next month. And Claire, I'd love for you to join as well. But yeah, so back to Claire's question. When we're working with imposter syndrome, it usually comes up because we're comparing ourselves to others. And we start comparing ourselves to others when we lose our direction within ourselves, when we lose the confidence that we are enough just as we are. And ultimately, like, your uniqueness is what makes you so magical. It is what is the most beautiful part of who you are. Is the fact that you are unlike any other woman in this world. Because you're you. No one else is like you. No one else has that magical divine essence that you do. And society, family circumstances, past experiences often lead us to this place where it makes us think, or I should say, leads us to believe that essence is not good enough, that it's not beautiful enough, that we are not where we're meant to be. And that we should start fitting ourselves into this box, that we should be like this other person, that the way this other person does it is the way. And I want to come back to Claire's specifically talking about being a yoga teacher. And I love this because I'm actually in a yoga teacher training right now myself. And the thing is, first and foremost, nobody actually knows what the fuck they're doing. Number one. If anybody leads you to believe that they know what the fuck that they're doing, second guess that, and maybe find someone else to look up to. Maybe find another mentor, or maybe just pause and think for a moment, because we're all humans, and there's literally no guidebook to being human. There isn't. There's things that feel good. There's things that don't feel good. There's optimal communication. There's ways that we can better support ourselves. And at the end of the day, we're all just fucking around and finding out. That's literally being human. Fuck around and find right out, right? You'll ultimately find out if it works for you or if it doesn't. And so coming back to, Claire, what you're saying here, right? You're talking about how you don't know what you're doing. Well, you're not alone there. I don't know what I'm doing. All the other yoga teachers in the world, they don't know what they're doing. They're leaning into the thing that feels good for them. And what's beautiful about leading others, about being a guide, about being a facilitator, is that you know a little bit more than they do, right? And so people that are coming to your yoga classes, they're people that they're not facilitating yoga classes. You're further along on that journey than they are, which means you have something to teach them. And it means you have a place to take them, to guide them. And that's beautiful, because people are coming to you because you're a couple of steps ahead in comparison to where they're at. And so I want to invite you to think about that. Just think about these people that are going to, or that are coming to your yoga classes, that want to come to your yoga classes. There's people literally just waiting for you to start teaching yoga, because you're a couple of steps ahead of them. And your divine essence, your uniqueness, like, that's magic that they need in their lives. And earlier, if you were here, I was talking about how we are all mirrors for each other. And through allowing yourself to be seen, you hold a mirror up to someone else to more clearly see themselves. And so when someone comes to their yoga class, you're going to drop them with these little tidbits, with these little breadcrumbs that are going to lead them to start thinking differently, that are going to lead them to start moving differently. They're going to lead them to be reminded of who they are or what it is that they need on any given day. And so I just, again, coming back, like, I want to invite you to leaning into the fact that, one, nobody knows what they're doing, and you are not alone. Like, you are on the same playing field as everyone else. And two, you have magic to offer the people around you. When you lead yourself by opting into the thing that scares you, that makes you feel uncomfortable, bring that into your yoga class. I actually was talking to one of my friends the other day, and he was like, he's been teaching yoga for a long time, and he was so nervous to teach his class. There was like 35 people to take his class, and he walks in and he goes, "All right, and I'm nervous as all hell today." And everybody had a little chuckle, a little giggle. But it broke the ice. Like, he showed up in his vulnerable, authentic self and was like, this is who I am. I'm a human being too. This is how I'm showing up today. And I'm letting you see that I'm hitting an edge right now, and I'm going to move through it. And that is such a beautiful message to bring into a yoga class, right? It's like, wow, I actually don't feel comfortable right now, and I'm going to lean into this, right? It's what you do on the mat you get to bring into the rest of your life. And so when you hit these uncomfortable places on your mat, right? When your clients, when your students, when they hit these uncomfortable positions, or they don't want to hold a position longer, or maybe they fall out of a position, how can they get back into it? How can they lean into the discomfort? Knowing that by leaning into those edges, they're going to learn so much more about their own uniqueness, about who they are, about how they think, about how they present themselves, how they show up. And again, coming back to the only person that you ever should, and I don't love using that word, but it applies here. The only person that you ever should be comparing yourself to is the version of you from yesterday, the version of you from an hour ago, the version of you from last year or last month, the past versions of you. That's the only version that you should ever compare yourself to, because nobody else is you. No one else is you. And so coming back to this whole concept of imposter syndrome, we experience imposter syndrome when we start comparing ourselves to other people that are not us and that are not our past versions of us. Oh, Claire, thank you so much. Yes, I would love for you to join the masterclass. It would be amazing to have you, and you're so welcome. Thank you for prompting that question. Beautiful, beautiful connection to our conversation today, and to stepping into that unshakable version of yourself. Much love to you. So yes, there's so many things that go into becoming unshakable, and this comparison game, which is what we're taught to do by society, like, it doesn't help us. It doesn't support us. It doesn't lead us to expand. It doesn't lead us to connect with our authenticity. It doesn't lead us to connect with our love and to lead with our hearts. It actually stifles us. And again, it leads us to put all those walls and all those shields and all those barriers up. And I want to help you take those down. So I hope that you come join me. I hope that you, all my ladies, I hope you come hang out in my masterclass coming up at the very beginning of May. And we're going to dive deep. We're going to dive deep into what it takes for you to step into your most confident, most powerful, most unshakable version of yourself. And I'm here to guide you. Because at one point in time, I was in your shoes. No matter where you are in your journey, I've been there. And that's why I'm here, and I'm stepping into leading these spaces for women to find themselves, to come home to themselves. Because a woman who is so connected with her authenticity, a woman who is so connected to her power, a woman who knows who she is and knows that she can support herself and that she is unshakable, is a woman that leads herself. And when she leads herself, she gets to lead the world around her. Even if you're not leading workshops and masterclasses, even if you're not leading a yoga class, maybe you're a mother, maybe you're a sister, maybe you're a friend, maybe you're a teacher, maybe whoever you are in the world, whatever labels you give yourself, when you more confidently and effectively and efficiently, when you more confidently, effectively, and efficiently lead yourself, you get to do the same for the people around you. Even if it's unintentional, they're going to see you, they're going to see how you're leading yourself, and they're going to say, wow, she is radiating. I want that energy. I want to experience that too. Because authenticity is one of the highest vibrational frequencies. And at the end of the day, everybody wants more love, and they want to be more accepting of who they are at their core. They want to be more accepting of their most authentic selves and their authentic expression. And so when you can do that, when you can show up as a leader for you, you then get to show up as a leader for the people around you. And you therefore get to be the change that you want to see in the world. And this is where it starts. If there's something that you don't like about the world around you, you get to be that change. And you get to bring that forwards. And you get to show other people what it looks like, because we learn through witnessing. We learn through being shown an example of what's possible, right? It's like you literally don't know something's possible until you actually see somebody else do it, and you're like, whoa, that I can do that? And then you're like, okay, all right, let's do it, right? For example, like people that break world records, like you don't know that this is actually possible and that you can push your mind or your body this far until somebody else shows you it's possible. And then the ceiling is lifted and you're like, wow, there's so much more space to expand here. Wow. Crazy how that works. And so this is all part of the journey of becoming unshakable, is witnessing somebody else give you permission to step into your vulnerability, to step into something different, to shift. And I'm here to guide you through that shift. So, come join me, sister. May 3rd. I believe it's May 3rd. I'm blanking on the date, but reach out to me and I should know this. But I've got travel brain at the moment in time. So yes, come join me beginning of May. I would love to have you in the Unshakable Woman Workshop. Come join us. Learn how to step into the most unshakable version of you that you could ever imagine. You are welcome. You are invited. I'm sending you love. Send me a message. Drop me a comment on this video if you'd like to join the Unshakable Woman. This is totally free. Expect about a 2-hour workshop, and there will be a live Q&A at the end where I am here to offer all of my sisters some free support and some free guidance. So I hope to see you there, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to go hang out with my bestie here in Huntington Beach. Go see the beach because that's where I love to be. And yeah, I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. And we'll talk soon.